Okay. Hello everyone, we're going to make a form using Visual Basic on Microsoft Excel. It is going to look like this. We will have two buttons here, add new book, and here edit selected book. This button will be using to add a new book at the end as a new record. Like we have 6 records, it will be the 7th. Let's put something. It will be new book, the name, an author, page number 7, type comedy. Let's just click add. So we're going to see that new book was successfully added to the database, and here is the data. So the second button here, it's the edit button. Let's think that this record, the third record, is entered mistakenly. Something is entered mistakenly. Let's say the number is wrong. So it's not important which column we select. Just this record, this row, any column or any cell of this record is enough. So I click any column in the third record and I click to edit selected book. And as you can see, the information, all data, the book name, the author, the page number, type, starting date and finishing date has come to my empty spaces, to my text boxes on the form, so that I can change these information, like 311. This, let's say it has to be 400, and then we click update, so we can see that Profatiun was updated successfully, a message, and we can see that it is already updated. And so for this we're going to need 2 more worksheets. We have 3 worksheets. This is the information worksheet. We need 2 more worksheets, engine and lists. So in the lists we're going to have the genres or the types of book. We can see that we have classic, comedy, drama, horror fiction, literary realism, religion, romance, satire, tragedy, mythology, and adventure. You can enlarge this list. And we have engine, which we're going to use this for codes. This B3 is used for total row number. We're going to use it in Visual Basic code section. And this is the mode B4. This is the mode. This means that when we click on edit button, it's going to be edit mode. When we click to add button, it's going to be new mode. So let's check. Let's click to new button, add new, and let's see. Yes, as you can see, it is new. The mode is new. Now if we click to edit button, when we click on the engine, we're going to see that this button before is edit mode. How did we do this? We did this using the codes on Visual Basic. We're going to come back here later. Editing row, the selected row and editing row will also be used on Visual Basic. The selected row, like it's 4, as you can see, the 4th record is selected when we click to edit button. That is true. If we click to 5th row and click to the edit button, so let's see. Yes, as you can see, this is the selected row. It is 5, and that is true. 5th row is selected. 5th record is selected. We haven't looked at this. It's not the 8th record. It is the 5th record, because 3 cells are not used. 1, 2, and 3 cells are 3 rows are not used. The first 3 rows are for titles and buttons. So we're going to subtract 3 from the Microsoft worksheet, Excel worksheets row number. And so yes, that's all for here for now. Now let's create a new Microsoft Excel workbook and start from the beginning. First of all, we need 3 worksheets. As we said, we have 1 in here. To create new, we click on this button, and we're going to change the names of this. Double click on the name, worksheet name, and you can change the name. This is going to be data, and worksheet 2 will be engine. Be careful about the names. The names has to be the same with the using. We're going to use them on the code, so be careful about the names. Sheet 3 will be list or lists, and this is also again important. If you write lists, it has to be lists in code section, but if you say list, only list, so you have to use it like this. You need to keep this in your mind, whatever you have written in the worksheet's name. Okay, so let's open the data form. We're going to create a table first of all. We're going to create a table at first. So we will start from the third row to start creating the titles of the columns. Number, book name, author, page number, genre, starting date, and finishing date. You can enlarge these number of columns, but I think these are okay. So we're going to resize the columns width like this. Book name needs to be a little large, also author, page number, this much enough, genre, starting and finishing date. I select both, clicking F and G, and we're going to resize them just like this. That's it. We have a table. Actually, this is a table already, but we're going to format it, change the colors, font numbers, font names, font types, etc. But before we have this cell group will be the title of the table, not title of the columns, title of the table. So we need to merge these all cells from A to G on the second row. So I select all these cells from A to G, and there's a button here called merge and center. I click this one, and as I click, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 cells has become one bigger cell. They are combined. So we're going to change the name of this cell, the text of this cell, to my books, and let's increase the size of the title of our title. Also, let's increase the size of the title of columns or make them bold, maybe enough. And so we need to increase the size of the first row because we will put the buttons in here. Maybe this is enough. And also we need to change the alignment of all cells in here. The alignments using these buttons here will make it in the middle vertically, and in the center horizontally, just like this. So we can see that the text are aligned in the middle and in the center. And let's go to engine. Before we start the formatting, let's go to engine. As we said, we need some information that we need to write in here. Let's just copy paste, but I will copy paste, but you need to just write them as it is. You need to keep where you start. I start from B3, so I will keep this in my mind because I will use it later. B3 is the total row number, B4 is the mode, and B6 is the selected row. And so I think this total row number is has been used a formula, calculation in here. So this calculation, yes, it's also used in here. It's count A, which means it will find the number of numbers or number of data in this range. But I think here I'm going to change this because it copied the formula as it is, but I will change this. It's just using, yes, the worksheet name with exclamation mark, which is data, and the range in this worksheet starting from A3 to this is up to how many records you're going to have. For example, let's say we're going to have only 100 records, so it's enough to write 103 because we start from 3, so from A3 to A103, and between these we need to put a colon like this, and after we close the parenthesis, we're going to minimize from 1, subtract 1, because this is going to show the real row number, or just we can change this A3 to A4. Yes, this is better. Let's change it from, yes, not from A3, we change it to A4, from A4, starting from A4 till A104. So let's come to data and see, yes, it starts from A4, not from A3, because A3 is the title. That's why it was subtracted from 1. We just deleted this -1 and changed this from A3 to A4. This is the same. You can also write it in the same way with this. But we should know this, that data starts from A4. And if you will have 100 records, you need to say like this, starting from A4 till A104. So in the lists, we're going to also write the lists. By the way, here, these are not important. These are just to define this, to define the values in here. Like this is total row number, but it's just not important what you write in here, because you're going to use only these values in the code part. These are just information to show what they are. This is the total row number, this is the mode, this is the editing row, and this is the selected row. That's it. And let's write the list to, again, I'm going to copy paste, but you can write it yourself, starting from B2 to B12, I think. In here it's not important wherever you write, but the important thing is to change the name of this selected list. We're going to select the list, and this is called name box, and we're going to change the name of the list using here. Just select the B2 and change it with a suitable name. Like I write genre, but you can write type or anything else, but whatever you write here, you need to keep it in your mind because we're going to use it later. Just click, press enter, and that's it. This list have a name, and it is called genre. Now let's come back to data and format our table. There are actually two ways to format a table. The easiest way is to select the table and go to format as table on home tab, and click on format as table and select a format in here, and that's it. You need to just click here, my table has headers, if you select the headers too, and click OK. So that's it. It has a format, but I'm not going to make this. I will make the headers in different format and the table in different format, or let's just make all in one format. Let's select 100. It's okay, 136 records, and I'm going to make the format as I want. This is used to change the background or fill color of the selected range or selected cell. So I click not on the exact button, I'm going to click to this small button here, and I will change the color. I can also use more colors button to select another color, like like this. Has been too dark. It's like this. And for the title, I'm going to use another color. Let's say let's use green. And also I'm going to make borders for my table. I select the range again, And here we've got borders button. I'm going to click the small button again, the arrow, and I will choose more borders. And here we have options. First we need to change the style. Like if you want the outside borders, I'm going to select this for the outside borders and change the color, and let's say it should be dark blue. And you can just select these lines here or just click outline, the same. And I will put a horizontal line for each record. So I will select the style again, the color I want the same, and just select this line between, not the vertical. I don't want vertical. If you want vertical, you just need to click here too, but I don't want this. Yes, now I made a mistake. I clicked also the top area, but I don't want the top area to be like this, so I click the same style in the previous style again and click the top area, and that's it. This is what I want, and click OK. So I'm going to have border style also for my table, and the title is black font color. I will change the font color using this button, not to black. I will use white for the title. Okay, so we're going to create two buttons here. So I will come to developer and use insert on developer, and here we've got button object. I will click on a button and just drag and drop to create a button. Drag and drop, and that's it. I will not assign the macro for now, just as default. Click OK. And so I will have a number, but this I will have a button, but this button doesn't have any function yet. I will copy this button and paste it just next to it. So I will have the second button, and I can edit the text, of course. How did I do it? Again, right click on the button and select the edit text. I can select the text using the mouse cursor, and I can go home and increase the size of the text so I can see it better. So let's change the caption of the button. Add new book. So it's 18. I'm going to make also this 18. Edit text. Make it 18. And of course I will change the text caption with edit selected book. Okay, so also this button doesn't have any function yet. We're going to make it functionable, but before we're going to open developer and Visual Basic to start creating our form. This form and modules are for my other workbook, which is in here. I'm going to close this one, and so I can see only my forms or modules which I have on this workbook, which I do not have actually. These are my worksheets. So I'm going to create a form first of all. So I go to insert and use user form to create a form. So I will have a form, but of course I need to format this form. So let's continue on the second part for this. See you on the second part.